Mr. Speaker, I yield myself as much time as I might consume.
The gentleman is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today in support of H.R. 6233, which provides disaster aid to livestock and other producers. I'm sure all of my colleagues are keenly aware of what's happening across this great country. A drought of epic proportions is gripping a large majority of the nation, and with it, it is endangering vast areas of agriculturally productive land. The map behind me illustrates just how widespread and how bad this drought really is. Just yesterday in my home state of Oklahoma, we had temperatures topping out at 115 degrees. Vast areas of productive pasture land are burned up, and our ranchers are in dire need. But also, let's be very clear why we are here on the floor today. In 2008, Congress passed a farm bill that did not provide a final year of disaster assistance. I have heard people call this extending disaster assistance by a year. No. What we are doing is fixing a problem. We are backfilling a hole or fixing a deficiency. And I'm not here to point fingers. I was elected to fix problems. We have a drought. We don't have a disaster program, and I'm here to provide a solution. Now, in past years, we might just wave our hand and declare this emergency spending. But we tend not to do that anymore, thank goodness. So this bill pays for itself, and not only does it pay for itself, it gives more than $250 million to deficit reduction. To me, that sounds like fixing a problem. Amazingly, that's not the end of the story. Some people do not like how we paid for the bill. Now, quite frankly, I don't either. I was the subcommittee chairman for conservation programs in 2002 when we gave an extra $17 billion to conservation programs. I'm a proponent of voluntary incentive-based conservation programs. But let me give you a little history on EQIP funding. 10 years ago, in fiscal year 2002, we authorized $200 million in EQIP fund spending. In fiscal year 2009, we authorized $1,340 million. And for fiscal year 2013, we authorized $1,750 million. Yes, we're cutting real dollars. $350 million will not go to our farmers and ranchers to help comply with the enormous regulations facing them. But at the end of the day, this will still be the largest amount of money ever spent on the EQIP program. 7 times what we spent in 2002. The other offset is the CSP program, which was vastly, I might note for the record, improved in 2008. For those of you here in 2008 who voted for the Farm Bill, the CSP program in the House bill had $0. Yes, $0 when it left the House. In the just passed Ag Committee Farm Bill, we limit CSP to 9 million acres. I greatly respect the conservation community, but to hear them say we are destroying conservation programs could not be farther from the truth. You'll also hear people complain that this isn't the full Farm Bill. My priority remains to get a 5-year Farm Bill on the books and to put those policies into place. But the most pressing business before us today is to provide disaster assistance to those producers impacted by drought conditions who are currently exposed. It is as simple as that. There is a problem out there. Let's fix it. Now let me address the Farm Bill that my colleagues seem to either love or hate, or love to hate, or hate to love. The bill is not perfect. No legislation is. Now we can spend our time trying to chip at the federal deficit $1 million at a time, coming down to the floor on every appropriations bill. Or we can spend our time writing opinion pieces for the Wall Street Journal. Or we can do something about it. The Farm Bill that passed out of my committee the Agriculture Committee saves $35 billion. Now let me repeat that. $35 billion. Tell me another piece of legislation that has bipartisan support and a chance to pass the United States Senate that saves that much money. Now, my friends on my side of the aisle will say we don't cut enough, while my friends on the other side of the aisle will say we cut too much. This is the perfect case of letting the perfect be the enemy of the good. I believe in the legislative process. I believe in letting the House work its will. We did it in the House Agriculture Committee, and we can do it here too. Mr. Speaker, let me say again, I am committed to giving certainty to our farmers. I plan to work towards the goal that we get back in September. But we are here today to fix a problem. Let's do it without partisan bickering. There's a disaster happening out there. Let's give the tools to our ranchers who are the most exposed. The bill is paid for. Let's do what the American people sent us here to do. That's fix problems. I urge my colleagues, join me in voting for H.R. 6233. I reserve the balance of my time.
The gentleman reserves his time. The gentleman from Minnesota.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.